All right, it's the Freeform Rock Podcast After Short Part Death because this motherfucker, Krusty Engine, can't read instructions. And I said, you know what? I love this motherfucker. I'll do a second show with him. What's up, Tim?
What's happening, fellas? Or
What's up?
fella?
Well, because you bought a camera for this fucking to do podcasts with us, so I gotta fucking give you special exemptions to do a second show with you, because you rule. You rule, buddy. Fuck those fuckers who think you're an asshole. I think you're an asshole, but you're a cool asshole.
I am an asshole, but
You're an asshole. Yo, yo, yo.
what do you,
Fuck it. Who was that comedian? I forgot his name. He sang that song. Tim Leary? No, not Tim Leary. That's the drug guy. What's the guy's name? He's an actor. He does comedian. He's on MTV a lot. God, what was his name? He goes, I'm an asshole. Yo, yo, yo.
couldn't
No.
tell you.
God, come on. You know who the guy is. He's a famous comedian. I'm gonna look it up real quick. So, man, tell me what you think about music. Why does Def Leppard have no balls, like we just talked about? So you can get your opinion out now. Oh,
Why
Dennis
does that?
Leary. Dennis Leary.
Oh, yeah. Dennis Leary, yeah. He's from
Yeah,
Boston.
he's an asshole.
Self-admitted, yeah.
Oh man, we were talking about. I even admitted they lost their balls when Pete Willis left. I still like it after Pete Willis left, but Phil Collin like yanked their balls away. I agree with that.
Well, not only the fact that Pete Willis left, fired, whatever, which was funny as shit because they said he was a drunk, and yet though Steve Clark dies literally from alcohol poisoning, but that was all right.
Mm. But
And not only that, it's after Pyromania, as the albums went on, the guitars got more and more in the background, and they got softer, and they became soft. They're a soft band. They got
well,
old.
they went more poppy. Yeah,
Yeah, they got old.
I don't think they
And
got
like I've
old.
said
I,
many, many times on this show, the mansions aren't cheap.
I think they wanted to play for the chicks, and I like Hysteria. I like Slank. I like Adrenalize. I like Euphoria. I even like X because I'm a little bitch. I got a pussy sometimes.
No, they went from an album band to a singles band.
I like the albums they did. The White Lightning was great. They had
Oh
some
my
great
God,
songs.
that fucking album sucks. That couldn't be fucking worse.
You didn't like Euphoria?
No,
Oh,
nothing but fucking pop dumb bullshit.
well, you are the metal curmudgeon, so that makes sense.
I'm that for a reason.
But you like a lot of pop music, which makes no sense to me because you like pop.
Well, yeah, I
You
like a
just don't
lot of
like your Def Leppard doing
good
pop.
pop music. That ain't it.
Hey, but
That's recycling old shit.
we didn't get to talk about this on the last episode because we were talking about it in the chat group. I started listening to the debut album by Richard Marx today again. I
Yep.
forgot how good that album was.
Yeah, it's good. Good pop album.
What a fucking great album. Great songwriting, great bridges, great breaks, great guitar work on that album with Joe Walsh on it. Don't Mean Nothing.
Well,
A
like
lot of
his track, like his track should have known better is ballsier than anything Def Leppard has done since Pyromania.
I kind of agree with that. It's like I will
Which
agree with
is
you on it.
just sad.
Satisfied. Oh my God.
Yep.
Have Mercy is a great fucking song by him too. Like
He's a good
Richard Marx
songwriter.
is a
I mean,
fucking genius, man.
Mr. Hair, but he's a good songwriter.
Well, he did cut his hair later, but he had the mullet. But I remember when Richard Marx came out, that first album, it was like 6.99 at Tower, and he like had an interview and he said, "Hey, buy my album so I can make more albums." And we bought that album, and he made Repeat Offender. Fucking great fucking second album.
Hmm.
I need to go back on BS and see what the greatest debut albums I put and make sure we needed to do a part two of that because
Best debuts.
I'd put him in that second part, because that is a great debut album by Richard Marx.
Yeah, yeah. I,
One of the
I'm,
greatest debut albums of all time. It's
I'm
not
not
Van
going to argue.
Halen,
Yeah.
but it's
Trouble with
fucking
those
great.
pop artists is once they, and not just pop artists, it's any artist. Once they taste success, they're addicted to it. And it's like, okay, how did we get success in the first place? Well, we wrote this kind of music. And, like they could be the heaviest metal band possible, and they write one fucking ballad, and all of a sudden you know, that's what they are now, a ballad band. So all of a sudden they start coming out with wimpy shit, and it's like you lost who you were. You know,
Th
you
Thank you,
lost
Motley. Thank you,
direction.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue, fucking, I can go on and on, man.
Well, Motley Crue started it. They started off with "Smoking in the Boys' Room," and then the second track was "Home Sweet Home," which became the biggest ballad of all time. And then every metal, hair metal, whatever you call them,
Oh,
came out.
Home
Let's
Sweet
release
Home
the
was
hard rock
just
song and let's release the ballad second.
Home Sweet Home made my teeth hurt.
I
That's
love
how
that song.
sweet it was.
I love that song though. I got a pussy. I got a pussy for that shit.
But even on their debut, they had On With the Show, which was kind of ballady, sort of. And it's like, but I mean, so they've been writing ballads all along. It's just they got sweeter and they got softer and yeah.
But I'm
I'm
on
not much
my
of a ballad
way
guy.
home, sweet home. I like ballads. You don't like "Hold On to the Nights" by Richard Marx?
Oh yeah, but he's a pop act. He never tried to be anything more than he was.
You're just like, God, Ellie.
I don't mind if a pop act comes out on their debut album as a pop act. Okay, that's what you are. Fine.
But you don't like your metal acts coming out with a
No,
pop
I
song.
don't. If you're gonna be metal, be metal.
But you were okay with Ozzy with changes?
Eh,
Black Sabbath with
the
changes?
way I looked at it from all of Ozzy's work with Sabbath and Sabbath's work with Ozzy, it was one tune. I mean, they did do like She's Gone, which was one tune. It wasn't an album of She's Gone or an album of changes.
What about Foreigner? What do you think of them?
Matter of fact, I just wrote on Breed's comment on Facebook. Foreigner was a hard rock band for their first four albums, and then they tasted success and they went to popdom.
Well, Lou Graham fought over that. He said, "We're a rock band. Why are we making all these ballads?"
But yet, though, we came out with "Don't Want to Live Without You," and
Well, that
you
was a
know,
Foreigner. I love that song, but the thing is,
I love the track, but it's the slippery slope.
but then you had "Heart Turns to Stone" on that same album.
Yeah, that's still
You had
poppy-ish.
"Inside Information" was a great. I got the inside
Yeah,
information. That's a fuck.
not like the first four Foreigner albums though.
Well, even with the album Agent Provocateur, they had "I Want to Know What Love Is," but the other songs on there were not poppy. It was like "That Was Yesterday" was pretty good,
Yeah,
and
that's poppy.
the song "Agent Provocateur" was pretty
If
good.
you have layered keyboards on your songs,
That was the
that's
80s, dude.
poppy.
Like even Richard Marx had those 80s keyboards on
Yeah,
that.
but he was a pop act to start with. He came out as a pop act. He never did a metal album or a rock and roll or a hard rock album. He was a pop act. Okay.
But Luke Graham solo had a lot of pop songs too.
Yeah. But actually when Lou Graham went solo, his first solo album was
Amazing.
fairly rockish.
I love One Hard Look. I like that song.
Yeah,
It's
that's a great album. That's a great
one
album. But
hard look's gonna lead
it's,
to another.
when Foreigner
Then we
went
got
to
nowhere to go. I love that
yeah,
fucking
the
line right
album
there.
after Four just turned me right off to him because
Agent Provocateur, because I love that was yesterday. I love those
see, I don't because it's like, well, like I've heard it. I've heard it on the radio more times than I care to
Tooth
count.
and Nail was a hard rock song on that album. No, the opening track of that album, Tooth and Nail. Fucking
But
Lou
like
was singing his ass off.
bands do this. They do it because, like I said, them porn stars aren't cheap either.
Can we just say that record companies fucking have a lot to do with this shit?
Well, back then they had everything to do with it because you
Do you
weren't putting
think
an album
they're
out,
saying,
period.
"Hey, we want you to write a single. We want you to write a single.
Oh
We
yeah.
want you to get softer. We want you to do this. We want you to do that." Don't you think record companies ruin good bands?
Or actually, they make them like a band like Tool because they did the same thing. They came down and they said we need another hard rock song, so they came out with Ticks and Leeches, which is not a single.
But then they got record companies talking to Rush, "Hey man, your songs are too long. We don't like this stuff. We need you to write more singles." That album Caress of Steel was too long. Too many things like that. And then they say, "You know what? Fuck off." And they
And
wrote
now,
2112. They
like
told
nowadays, bands don't need record labels.
no, and that's kind of cool. And that's kind
Yeah,
of what
I mean, that gives them ultimate freedom. If they need distribution, but they don't need recording contracts to record an album.
it's like Kicks got fucked over by Atlantic.
A
It's
lot
like
of bands got fucked over by record companies.
fucked over. Like, well, we've had this discussion before. We said it was their fault.
Hmm.
And it's like you got bands out there that said, "Hey, we're keeping our publishing." They said, "You want to release us?"
You keep your back in the day, the rule of thumb was you keep your publishing to the band and you keep your master recordings. Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
Motley Crue fucking got all that shit back because
Nowadays they're selling their master recordings and they're selling their publishing, but they're
well,
selling them for,
it's like Elektra wanted to get rid of Motley Crue and said, "Hey, we'll give you back everything. Just leave our fucking record label." And they gave them everything, and then they fucking sold it for millions. Which I'm gonna say something. I've said it before. Nikki Sixx is a fucking charlatan of rock and roll. He ain't a fucking real rock star. He's fucking fake as fuck. I think Vince Neil was the real motherfucker. If Vince Neil could fucking sing anymore, I think he'd be solo. But he's making off the
well,
Motley Crue.
he did release that one great solo album.
All his solo albums are good to me. I like Vince Neil's
The
solo.
last two were not, but
I like the covers album he did, Tequila, whatever that was. That's pretty cool.
yeah, see, I know.
But Nikki Sixx, like
But
I've
his first
always,
one with Steve Stevens was
you're
fantastic.
invited, but your friend can't come. I love that song, dude.
Yeah, was fantastic. It's a great album.
But I'm just gonna
You know,
say, dude, Nikki Sixx is a fucking bullshit artist. He's a bullshit fucking artist, and
well,
he
see,
is fake as fuck.
Nikki Sixx was never a musician.
No,
He just wanted to be famous. He wanted to be a star, quote unquote. He was never a musician.
it's like their
He
former
isn't a
manager just came
musician.
out. Former managers just came out and said, "Oh, he couldn't play bass." And I was reading the comments and go, "And water is wet. We know this that Nikki couldn't play bass. He still can't play bass." And it's
You'd have
all
thought,
tapes when you see them right now.
you'd have thought after them all them millions sold and in all those years and all that bullshit, you might have gotten together with a bass teacher and taught him a few chords.
Oh,
Because
dude,
if you listen to them first, well, the debut and the Too Fast for Love and the Shout at the Devil, if you listen to those bass lines, they're about as fucking simple as you can possibly get. Mick Mars saves those albums.
I agree. Well, and Tommy Lee.
Yeah, well, Tommy was good for his time, but he he never got better
No,
because he
but
was not worried about fucking
that
shooting up
94 that
alcohol.
94 album, you could hear how Tommy could play.
Yeah, but that was more of the miking of the drums, not. I mean, the
Well, yes,
drums sounded fucking phenomenal.
Bob Rock's a great producer. You could talk all the shit about him, except for Saint Anger. I think that was all Lars because he let Lars boss him around on keeping that snare there.
Now think about this for a minute. They said they spent well over $1 million recording Saint Anger. And I say their albums that they supposedly did in the garage sounded 100 times better than Saint Anger sounded. And that was supposed to be done on a 4-track Tascam or 6-track or whatever the fuck it was.
I'm just going, man. I'm
And
just looking at
they're
all
another
the.
band that I never understood with that album. They're sitting in a fucking studio and they're listening to it. Oh yeah, that's great. That's fantastic because every band does it. I've been in those meetings more times than I care to count. Where
Yeah,
every
well,
band gets,
Lars thought that
every
no.
member gets together, sits down and listens to the final cut.
Well,
This
Lars thought
is
no bass was great on Injustice.
this is the way it's going to sound. That and I didn't understand that for a long time with Sabbath's. Oh, fuck me.
I don't want
Sabbath,
to fuck you, Tim. I'm sorry.
Sabbath's, the one with Trashed on it and Ian Gillan.
Oh, that's
Born Again.
Born Again.
And, because I listened to it and I was like, what the fuck? And then I
Uh,
found out that the band sat down, listened to it, and they were like, yep, perfect. Just the way we want it. Great.
and
And
they're
they left.
gonna and Tony Iommi just got the remasters, and they're gonna fucking remaster that shit, and I can't wait. And Ian Gillan is one of the yes, please fix it. Ian
But
Gillan
they
wasn't happy with that album,
but they left and they went to finalize their tour. You know, bye, honey. I'll see you in 6, 8 months,
and
whatever.
Ian left in the middle of that tour, by the way.
You know, and the record company, the executives came down to the producer and said, "We don't want it to sound like this. We want it to sound more like this, more goth."
Goth.
And Black Sabbath didn't hear it until it hit the stores. The what actually came out from the final cut, and they were pissed.
Yeah, Ian Gillan hated it. Tony just found the master tapes and he's gonna redo it. I can't wait to hear it. But a lot of people out there like the way it sounds now. I do like the way it sounds. I like
Uh,
Disturbing the
I mean,
Priest. I like that
it was
stuff.
good and you got used to it, but it was too muddy. It was too
Oh,
it
it's way too muddy. It's like Blizzard of Oz is way too muddy too.
yeah. You
Oz,
know,
you know.
it was just I mean, nothing was separated. It was all like bunched together and just and it could have
But
sounded a lot better. Their albums in the 70s sounded better.
you got to remember it's rock and roll, man. It's raw. You got to get some raw.
It's like Lars with his brilliant idea. Turn the snare off. Yeah, that was fucking smart.
Yeah, seeing anger is like it's like oh, what the fuck? Because I like the songs, I like the lyrics, I like the crunch.
Yeah.
The
I
drums just
love the
kill the
songs,
fuck out of me.
and Saint Anger, in its defense, I thought they had some great ideas on Saint Anger. For songs, I thought the structure of the songs, some of them were really good, but mix that with shitty production, it doesn't. You know, you're a drummer. I'm going to turn the snare off. That's like a guitarist saying, "I'm going to turn my amp down."
Mhm. I'm just going. I bought Saint Anger the first day it came out.
Oh, me too.
I
I
played
still
it
have it
once,
somewhere in my
and I
fucking
haven't.
collection.
I and then 20 years later, I tried to play it again. Nah, I can't. It gives me a headache. I was at
I
a
couldn't
show.
stand it the second time I fucking heard it. So,
I couldn't stand it the second time I heard it. And then I went to this show by some band and it was all snare. I was like, oh, I was holding my ears because I was getting a headache. I go, what is this, Saint Anger? God damn, it's so bad, dude. It's like, Lars, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you need hearing aids?
Like Frantic was structurally a great tune,
Yes,
but it just production killed it. Just absolutely killed it.
it did. And I think
Invisible
if
Kid,
Robert
that's a
was
good
there, Robert
song.
would have told fucking Lars, dude, this drum sound sucks.
But
Fucking
then
fix
again, he
it.
was the same fucking genius that said turn the bass down on Justice for All.
Lars, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
you know.
and that guy's an amazing bass player. You listen to Flotsam and Jetsam.
Hmm.
God, that guy could. Jason,
He
I
could
love the
play.
Black
I mean, he
Album.
wouldn't have been in the band if he couldn't play, you know.
I love the Black Album, and a lot of people shit on the Black Album. I love the Black Album.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Black Album, I never had a problem with the Black Album.
Load and
Not a
Reload
problem.
could fucking suck my dick.
They're saying, everybody's saying they're getting soft or whatever, and I'm like, no, no, no.
It's a hard
They're
metal
moving
album. It's
on.
metal.
They're not a thrash metal band
No,
anymore,
it's just hard rock metal.
but they're still putting out some great tunes. I mean, they got a little too commercial, but that's not their fault.
Dude, I love that whole album, dude. I was listening to it today and I go, this album fucking sonically is amazing. Sonically, it's one of the best recorded up, like Motley Crue 94. One of the great Bob Rock is not a bad producer. I think it's too many like chefs in the kitchen telling Bob Rock to change shit. Lars, you know.
Well, that's just it. He doesn't, you know, he tries to appease the band a little too much, and it's like sometimes the band knows what they're talking about, sometimes the band does not.
Have you heard the new Alice Cooper album?
I've heard the single, yeah, Revenge. Yeah, it sounded like old time. It sounded like something off of Killers.
Aren't you on our review of this coming up?
I don't think so.
You are now.
Well, then I better listen to
Yeah,
it.
you better listen to it. There's some songs that are I'm not gonna get into more, but I'll get into it when we get into it. But I think it's the best Alice Cooper album I've heard in years.
Well, I mean, like I said, it sounds like something off of Killers and the single, and I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed.
Yeah, it's like, dude, where have you been, Alice Cooper? I've been waiting for
You
you to
know,
give me a good album for years.
because
That
for some reason, in my head, I associate Alice Cooper with Poison,
why?
not the
Oh,
band, the song.
the song Poison.
And you know who wrote that song?
Richie Kotzen? I don't wrote
John
this song.
Bon Jovi wrote
John
that
Bon
song.
Jovi. I like the song Poison, but there's one song that I heard a couple weeks ago and I go, this song sucks.
So it's like Bon Jovi, who I I just do not have the words to describe how I feel about Bon Jovi.
I like John. I like Richie. I like the whole band.
I liked them their first two albums. Then they like got famous and
well, the
success.
first two albums was Bon Jovi and 7800 Fahrenheit, but they didn't have a success till the third album, really.
That's what I'm saying. Is then they found success,
But
and
the thing is, they recorded that album and it wasn't successful till it came out. They
like
didn't
I
know it was
said,
going to be successful.
like I've told every band I ever managed in my entire life, the one fucking thing you gotta fucking fear the most is success because it'll kill you.
But the thing is, they did that album before they had success. They recorded, they didn't know it was going to be successful.
No,
But the
but
thing is, they
it was.
recorded what they recorded. They weren't going for trends. They just did what they wanted to do. And the same thing with New Jersey. I love New Jersey.
Oh, I fucking hate New
I
Jersey.
love New Jersey.
I hate New Jersey.
I,
I hate fucking slippery when wet.
but
You
the
know, and
thing is,
they
New,
said, well, we recorded it basically in a strip club. And I said, well, you should have been in a fucking studio.
I love you, give love, bad name. Fucking wanted dead or alive. Raise
Because
Your
they're trying to be
Hands. I
cool. You
love
know,
that
we
fucking
recorded
album.
it in a strip club, and it's like, well, you should have been in a studio. You're a band. That should be your first priority.
The thing is, they didn't have success with 7800 Fahrenheit. They just did what they wanted to do on
Well,
that
I don't
album.
know. I don't, because bands
They got harder with the second
like
album,
their
the
debut
third album.
album, Runaway, was successful.
Not
The
that
track
much,
Runaway was successful. The album was successful.
but 78.
7800 Fahrenheit, they were opening for Rat, which was a very successful tour for a band of their
But
caliber at the
7800
time.
Fahrenheit didn't have a hit, really. In and Out of Love wasn't big. Silent Night wasn't
Right, but they were
big.
still living on Runaway. So,
Yeah, but the thing is, I think 7800 Fahrenheit is a far
and a
superior
band
album.
for their caliber at the time, opening for a band like Rat of their caliber at the time,
And
that's a
where's
step
Rat
up.
now?
I'm just saying at the time, because that's when I saw them, the opening for Rat.
And then Poison opened for Rat too.
And I'm glad I saw them on that tour because I didn't have to fucking deal with fucking slippery when wet tracks because that would have driven me insane.
You don't like
Except
anything
for
off Slippery When Wet at
no, I
all?
like Tommy used to work on the docks.
Tommy used to work on. God damn it! I should know
We
that
gotta
song.
hold on to what
What
we
we
got.
got
It doesn't
doesn't
make a
mean anything
difference if
to
we make
make
it
it.
or not.
Got each other, love for love. Give it.
Living on a
Oh, we're
prayer.
living on a prayer. Yeah, but you didn't like
No,
Wanted Dead or Alive? That was the hardest track on the album to
no,
me.
no, no,
'Cause I'm a cowboy. Wanted, wanted, dead or. That's my favorite song off the album, dude.
no.
The Richie harmony on that song. Oh my God. That's what's missing from Bon Jovi now. It's Richie fucking Sambora. Phil
No.
X is a great guitar player, but he ain't no fucking Richie Sambora. Richie Sambora carried John with those vocals.
Okay.
You don't like Richie solo albums?
Not really.
Richie, have you heard them?
Yeah,
I love
I
Stranger in
listen
This
to them.
Town.
And they're
Rich,
good. I'm not going to say they're good, but they're not fucking spectacular. I've
well,
heard
not
a lot
spectacular,
better.
but it's rock
I've
and
heard a lot
roll.
better white boys trying to sing the blues than Richie Sambora.
So what do you think about Warrant and Janie Lane?
I thought Janie Lane, I thought they're another one of them bands. You take the first album and throw it right out.
Oh, fuck you.
And then they started getting better.
I agree with that.
I love if you took out Cherry Pie, I love that album.
And did Janie want to do that song?
No, as a matter of fact, their first idea was to call it Uncle Tom's Cabin and release it the way it was,
Yeah.
and that's the way it should have been.
And that's the song that killed Janie was Cherry Pie.
And then Dog Eat Dog was fucking
Amazing.
awesome. You know,
Fucking amazing album. I think Warrant Janie Lane is one of the most underrated songwriters of our time.
I don't know about the most, but he's underrated, that's for sure.
Very underrated as a songwriter. My God, Machine Gun, April 20,
Hole in the
whatever.
Wall,
Yeah. Oh God damn, that dude could
Inside
write
Out.
inside out. My God. I love the first. You don't like In the Sticks off the first album? I
No,
ain't no country
no,
in the
it
sticks.
reminded me too much of Poison's debut album,
The
Cheerleader
deep,
Rock.
the deep tracks off that first album, Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich,
See,
fucking amazing.
that's another term I never understood. Deep tracks. If they're on an album, they're not deep.
Well, they weren't the singles.
Well, yeah, but
They're
so
okay. How
what?
about
I mean,
album
you
tracks? Call them album tracks.
I buy an album for the album, not for singles. So every track on the album is the album.
Okay, but I'm saying maybe they weren't. They were
Now,
album tracks and not deep
now,
tracks.
deep tracks to me are tracks that were never released, recorded but not released. Those are deep tracks.
But In the Sticks to me was a deep. How about an album track? I'll call it an album track. It was an album track. I
That's
love
another
that
term
fucking
I
song.
never got because all tracks are album tracks.
Okay, let's think. You got these pop artists releasing singles. You got three singles off the album, and the rest of the album sucks.
What album in particular or just in
I'm
general?
just talking about like these new pop artists, like go for Nicki Minaj. She
Well,
has
yeah,
three great
because
singles to
that's
people
who
like
they
her.
are. They're not an album act. They're
Yeah,
a
they're not,
singles
they
act.
don't make an album, they don't sequence an album, they don't put tracks
Yeah,
to
they don't
sequence.
they don't even think about an album. They think
Yes,
about the singles.
these
To
old
them,
bands did think
to
about that.
them, their career is based on singles, not albums.
Yes. The thing is, the first band who did albums in sequence was the Beatles. They made albums to make albums, not to make singles.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 60s and 70s, that's the way it was done. I mean, that was,
But the Beatles were the first band that made an
well,
album.
put it this way, an album like Pink Floyd's The Wall, all right? If you listen to just the singles that were released from that album, yeah, yeah, okay, they're good singles. They're really good singles. But if you listen to the whole album in its entirety, you're fucking blown away by it because
But there's
everything fits together. Operation Mindcrime, the exact
I was
same.
just gonna go there. Operation Mindcrime to me is the best rock opera of all time.
It's the best conceptual album ever made,
Yes,
as far
exactly.
as I'm concerned.
I argue with my co-host
But if
Jerry
you
all the
listen to
time over
every
this.
single that was released from that album, they're all right. I mean, it's a good track, you know. But if you put it together and listen to the whole album in its entirety, you're fucking blown away by it
Right?
because it all fits in with the story.
There's songs on the wall that just like, what the fuck is this? To me, to me,
Hmm.
Jerry will argue with me this. I will say that Operation Mindcrime flows completely to beginning to end, but the wall has ups and downs.
Yeah, I mean, The Wall is for back when it was released, The Dark Side of the Moon, same way. For back before when it was released, it was fucking amazing. But then other musicians got, hey, we can do better, and hey, we can do this, and hey, we can do that. The idea came from those albums.
I'm just saying, when I listen to Operation Mindcrime, it's just like track one to the end. It just flows.
Yeah,
It's like
it flows and it makes
When I
sense.
listen to Pink Floyd The Wall, I want to skip a couple of those motherfuckers.
But it
That's just
makes
me.
sense, and that's a conceptual album, is it all makes sense from start to finish. You don't know what it's gonna, you don't know what the theme is until the end, but every song is like, yeah, that fit in with that last song. And yeah, all right, all right, all right. Hey.
That's what I'm saying. That's my argument with Jerry all the time on The Wall. I think The Wall's a great album. The Wall is one of the best albums of all time. But when I listen to Queensrÿche Operation Mindcrime, I don't skip a fucking track on that album.
No, I don't.
The Wall, I skip at least two or three or four on that album.
But I also find myself when I listen to that album, I prefer to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing with The
Instead
Wall.
of, okay, I'll punch in, a track. You know what I mean? It's like I prefer to just put it on, let it go.
It's like Steely Dan. You just play the whole albums.
Oh yeah, you can just put it on,
Just put it on, play the
start to
whole
finish.
albums.
You don't have to worry about it.
Don't have to worry about it. That the thing is with Pink Floyd, I have to worry about a lot of their songs because
Hmm.
they, except for Animals, only album I'll play completely. Or Dark Side of the Moon, the only album I play completely. But The Wall, I have a lot of skippers on that album.
Well,
Yeah, I think The Wall is
I think
overrated. in the Pink Floyd discography.
I think I've listened to it enough times now to where it just doesn't feel complete if I listen to the wall and skip tracks.
Well, if you skip the tracks, but when you hear those tracks, you're like listening to them. They go,
Well, the last one
uh,
was better, but all right, I'll muddle through, you know.
but your thing is you're begrudging it. You're like, I'll listen to it because it's part of the sequencing. But then you're going, but when you listen to like Queensrÿche or Steely Dan or shit like that, it's like it's smooth. It doesn't irritate
Maybe
you.
that's the time, when one of those tracks comes on where I go take a piss or
Yeah, exactly. It's like I agree with you on
something to
that,
drink
but
or.
it's like I will Duran Duran. Don't talk about Duran Duran. You hate them, but I listen to Rio is one of those great albums I'll just listen to. The first album I'll listen to. Notorious I'll listen to. There's some Duran Duran albums that I go, no. They do have some bad shit. I agree with that. Oingo Boingo doesn't have any bad shit, but
Well, I definitely
I
agree
love
with
Danny
that.
Elfman. I don't like what's that? Nightmare Before Christmas. He sings all those songs. I don't care for that, but I like the movie. That's about it. You know. It's like I love Danny Elfman, but my favorite part of Boingo Boingo is the guitar playing by Steve Bartek. And every nobody talks about Steve. Steve needs some fucking love.
Well, I sure as fuck don't talk about Steve because I have no fucking idea who he is. So,
He's the guitar player of Boingo Boingo.
okay.
You haven't heard dun
Oingo Boingo to me was just a name.
sweat.
Oingo Boingo to me was just a name. And then Danny Elfman came on and, oh, he's part of Oingo Boingo. I was like, all right, I associated him, but I couldn't tell you if there
I wish you'd be
I
on the
couldn't tell you if
episode.
there's two members of that band or 20 members of that band. I
I
couldn't tell
just
you.
wish you'd be on that episode so I could make you hear the double album Oingo Boingo live. This one right here. I got Travis on here. He's my victim. He'll be on there. I wish you'd be on there because I'd like to, even if you shit on it, I'd be okay with that. I just want to hear the guitar parts because I know you're a guitar fan. And that's the only thing that matters to me with you guys. You, Jerry, Mooger, and Travis. Listen to the musicality of the genius of the lyrics. And it just
What the fuck's the name of that album?
alive. It's a 2 album set. It's
Two
alive.
albums. Are you kidding me?
They did all
I
their
can't even
greatest
listen
hit.
to a track of Oingo
They
Boingo, let
did
alone fucking 2 albums worth.
they did their greatest hits alive in the studio. There are some crap songs on here. I will agree with that because they tried to do country sweat. It was horrible. But I'll tell you,
Not interested.
you said you
I'm
would do
just not.
anything. You said you would do anything if I asked you.
And if I had to, if you put a gun to my head, I would listen to it, but
I
I don't
I,
have to.
I want to put a gun to your head on that album though.
Besides, you got Travi on there, so
I got Travis Patty. Yeah, that's cool. But
and you're fucking putting Jerry to it too. So
I think Mooger will like. I think Jerry
and
will like
Mooger.
a lot of songs off this album. I really feel that's gonna happen, but I could be wrong. You know, he could be call it total shit. Like I did an album and Jerry loved the rating I gave it. I gave it minus 0 out of 0. That's the album that's coming up this week. It's called Celtic Frost. It's horrible. Oh my God, it's minus 0 out of 0. It's one of the worst albums I've ever heard in my life. I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift.
Don't like the frost, huh?
No, that album
Yeah,
Cold Lake is
they're a little
horrible.
extreme.
Spoiler alert. But we got Eric Arnst, Pete Jordan, and Travis Patty on the album, Jerry and Mooger. So there might be different opinions on that album, like there is always, man. But Tim, give me a rock and roll hot take
A rock and roll
or a
hot take.
metal hot take, man. Tell me something that people are stupid for listening to.
In metal
Metal, rock, whatever. Don't say Oingo Boingo or Duran Duran
that
or
are
The Cure.
stupid for listening to it.
Yeah,
I can't say people are stupid because everybody has their own opinion,
I love that answer, by the way.
but I can say I don't understand why, in my personal opinion. Uh, well, we could start off with bands like Poison. We can start off with bands like Bon Jovi. We can start off with bands like Trickster. We can start off with bands, any of those fucking hair metal bands, quote unquote, because they're not metal. They're
Nobody.
glam at best.
Poison never claimed to be metal, by the way.
And I never really got into glam metal. So, except for bands like LA Guns, and they started off as glam, but they changed, you know. But I never understood glam. I never got it. Because I don't like, and it all comes back to me when Kiss first came out. I never focused on the stage show of Kiss. I never focused on the makeup. I never focused on the logos or anything like that. I focused on the music and I liked it. I liked the music. And that's the way I'd been with Kiss for a long time. I liked the music. Not all the music, but a lot of it, yeah. So, yeah, I was a Kiss fan. But I wasn't a Kiss fan because they were on somebody's wall in a poster or they were on the radio or I was a fan because of their music. That first album is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm just
Their
saying.
debut album was great and it didn't sell shit.
It was better when it was the live albums alive.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they had three albums under their belt before they made any money.
Yeah. I
Aerosmith,
will I
same
will
way.
never
Aerosmith
begrudge a
didn't make any
Kiss.
money until Toys in the Attic.
Oh, you talking about Aerosmith?
Yeah. But
I love all their albums,
their first albums before Toys in the Attic didn't draw flies.
and Dream On went big later. So
Later,
yeah, later.
not when it was released.
Well, same thing with Kiss. They didn't go big till they had the live album, the
Their
so-called
first
live albums.
album, they were barely a regional band.
Yeah.
They were playing, they were playing gigs, but they weren't any bigger than New England, if that.
New England sucks. I heard that band. I go, what the fuck is this shit? Angel was better. Angel's a really good band. Uh, you didn't like Angel?
I One way or another. I mean, I had buddies of mine that were wicked into Angel, and I was like, yeah, they're all right, but I've heard better.
I agree with you. Angel wasn't a band I really go back to. But I'm saying the best band in the world to me is Rush. They went out with a bang. And I'm just saying, man, Aerosmith
Well, I mean, yeah,
rules.
Rush's a great band. I'm not taking anything away from Rush. Far from it. They're a great band.
I'm just saying, man,
Fantastic band, actually. Awesome.
I don't understand how people like Kiss over Rush. It's just like it just kills me. I don't know
I like
why.
Sabbath over
Well,
Rush.
that is understandable. I understand Sabbath over Rush. I don't understand Kiss over Rush because they were a boy band to me with the lyrics they wrote. Rush, Neil Peart, after the first album with Fly By Night, he wrote amazing lyrics
You
compared to
know,
what Kiss was writing.
contrary to popular opinion, Rush had a hit single before Neil Peart joined the band.
Yeah, that album is my last favorite
They
Rush
had a
album
they had a
though.
hit album. Their debut album sold.
Because Donna Helper in Cleveland, right?
Yeah,
She
Working
played
Man
that.
was I mean, it was a minor hit, but it was a hit nonetheless.
Yeah, but they weren't rushed till Neil
No, they
joined the
weren't rushed
band.
till Neil Peart, and I'll give you that. I will absolutely give you that. But it's not like they were some nowhere band until this guy joined. You know,
No.
they were touring. They were nationally touring, world touring. So they were playing shows in Canada.
Yeah.
So they were world touring, quote unquote.
A three-piece band with no makeup and no fucking stage show like Kiss had.
ZZ
And I
Top.
think they kicked their ass. I
Oh, I
think
thought you were.
I'm talking about Kiss versus Rush. I don't understand how people like Kiss over Rush. But you know what? That's your opinion. You like Kiss over Rush.
No, I
You're
never said I
wrong,
liked
but
Kiss
I'm
over
okay
Rush.
with it, you
I
know.
said I liked them both.
Who do you like better? Gun to head.
Oh, Rush.
Thank you.
I thought they were much more musically talented than Kiss ever thought of being.
Rush wrote
But Paul
I,
Stanley could write some songs back in the day. I mean,
but the
all of them
thing
could, every one of them.
the thing is Kiss wrote the cheesiest party rock lyrics of all time. They're kind of
Mhm.
like the Poison of the 70s. You think about it. And Poison did follow Kiss. So that's
Poison
just
was a, you couldn't get any more of a girls' band.
I love Poison though. I'm not gonna give them
You
any
listen to
shit.
that first album and you become fucking neutered.
I guess I have a pussy then, like I said earlier in the show there.
Cheerleader rock at its best. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, Tim. Where are you on next? You're on BS next Thursday, right?
Yeah, we're doing
The 60s.
yeah, the 60s
You
stuff.
can't, and you will be on the 70s, 80s, and 90s, so you can't
Yeah, I
pick
can't
the
use the
same
same
bands
band
in each
that I
decade.
use. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just making sure you know that.
Yeah.
I want to try to bring everybody on those decades, so we get consistency. But thank you, man, Tim. I love you, brother. I did a second episode for you. You know how much you mean to me, right?
Thank you very much.
I love you so much, man. You guys have a good night. Make sure and like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, get that anal river going. Like Leon Wally says, get the anal, whatever it's called, algorithm going. Love you, Tim. We're out of here, man. Take it easy. Bye.
Peace.